Okay, you guys, so a lot of you have been having some questions about the fiber gel, the new fiber gel, the Shimmer fiber gel, a lot of different questions. So today I'm going to take you through some do's and don'ts, or really kind of answering a lot of the questions that you've been asking us about fiber gel. So let's start with the base coat. So fiber gel itself does have that really good bond to the natural nail. So you definitely don't need to use a separate base coat. Okay. Now, as for top coats, that's where I'm going to recommend that yes, you may want to use a separate top coat, but I do want to show you the difference. So you don't have to use a separate top coat, and what you're going to get is what I like to call a low shine. So if you're just using it by itself with no separate top coat, you're going to get, it's not really a matte finish, but it's not that really high gloss shine. Now, if you do want to get that really good high gloss shine, then I would recommend using a separate top coat. You're going to see the difference between that low shine with no top coat and then the high shine with a top coat. Now, what top coat to use? That's a good question, okay? When you're working over a natural nail, I definitely would recommend using a soft gel, something that's a little bit more flexible. So my personal favorite for over the fiber gel would be the Manicure top coat. Manicure is a soft gel also, so it's going to still have that same flexibility as the fiber gel. So you can also use the Ultimate Finish gel. Ultimate Finish is a hard gel, but it is a little bit more flexible than a regular full hard gel, okay? The one top coat that I would not recommend using over the fiber gel would be the stain resistant. And unfortunately, I know we want to use the stain resistant over the fiber gel to protect that, especially on our hairdressers or people that may be using other chemicals. But stain resistant is a hard gel and it is a very rigid gel. So if you were to put that onto your fiber gel, which is a little bit more flexible, over time, the stain resistant can actually get little micro cracks into that surface of it. So that's one of the top coats that I would not recommend using with your fiber gel. Again, stick with either the Manicure or the Ultimate Finish. You'll get really good results with both of those. So the next question that you guys have been asking a lot is, can I mix? Now, can I mix slick pour is kind of the big question of the day. So slick pour is our dip powder. It's part of our dip system. So mixing your slick pour in with your fiber gel is actually going to thicken your fiber gel. So if you're mixing, you have to mix very little. So I'm going to show you here. So I'm going to take a little bit of our clear gel, and I would recommend if you're going to mix, use the clear gel, the clear fiber gel, because if you try to mix in with any of your other more opaque gels, you stand the risk of maybe not curing your product fully. So when you're mixing, if you're mixing the powder in with the already thick fiber gel, it's going to make it even thicker. So with that respect, you only want to mix a little bit so that it doesn't get too thick. Now, if you mix too much, what's going to happen is, first of all, your gel is going to be too thick and it's going to be kind of chunky feeling. So what you want is this kind of a texture right now. You can kind of see that it's just starting to flow. It's starting to self-level a little bit. If you mix too much, it's going to actually do two things. It's going to make it too thick. It's going to kind of feel chunky. It's not going to really go on very smooth. And the other thing that you have to be careful of is if you do mix too much, you may not, again, get that full cure all the way through. Because the color pigment in the slick pour, there's a lot of color pigment to it. So having that extra pigment can inhibit that light from getting all the way through and fully curing that nail. So again, you want to make sure that you're not mixing a lot. You don't want it at this thick consistency where it's not really going to self-level. That's going to tell you that it's really too much product in there, too much of that slick pour in there, okay? Okay, next question that we get is, can I use fiber gel under acrylic or under my hard gels? Now, my question really is, why are you wanting to do that, okay? And I think a lot of times people like the fiber gel because they feel like it's very durable, it's very flexible, it can soak off. So I think those are some of the reasons that people are asking, can they use it under those other products? And what my answer is going to be is no. You generally want to keep fiber gel working as its own little entity. You want your acrylics to work on their own, and you want your hard gels to work on their own. Stick to one system or the other. Don't try to mix your fiber gel with your acrylic or with your hard gel. So the next topic I want to talk about is sculpting with fiber gel. Now we can definitely sculpt with it, but what we want to make sure we're doing is keeping it more of a shorter to an active length nail. Okay. Now the reason for this, the fiber gel is a soft gel, it's a flexible gel. So you want to make sure that if you build it out too long, that's going to be too flexible. Okay. Now at this length, I do have a little bit of flexibility to that nail, but you can see that at this length, I have a little bit of flexibility, but it's not going to be bendy. Okay. If you start building longer nails, can you see that flexibility? Do you see how much that nail is bending? That flexibility is too much, okay? It's too much flexibility. For this kind of a length, you would definitely want either an acrylic or a hard gel so that you don't have that bend to the nail. It can cause breaking, or it can also be uncomfortable for the client. So that's one of the reasons we don't recommend sculpting those long nails with the fiber gel, okay? Okay, so if you are trying to sculpt with the fiber gel, it really is a very thin product, so it's going to be kind of a struggle if you're trying to create long extensions. And to try to build up structure, you're going to have to kind of do it in layers. So it's going to be a little bit more of a process. Again, if I were to try to pick up a lot more product to build structure, again, do you see how fast it flows and it moves? It's going to be a little bit more challenging to build out. So again, if you're going to build out those long nails, you're going to have an easier time if you're using the Synergy hard gel rather than the fiber gel. I want to talk about the new pink shimmer. And you guys, I love the new pink shimmer. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Again, you can sculpt with it. Okay, I do have a nail here that is sculpted out. Now, if you look really close at this nail, as I'm sculpting, because of that shimmer, you see kind of wavy patterns. You don't see a perfectly smooth pearl finish to it, okay? So what I like to recommend is if you are sculpting or building and you're gonna do some filing, I would do your filing, do all of that good stuff, and then before you do your finishing, before you top coat, again, apply a coat of protein bond. It's a little wobbly, it's a little bit kind of twisted because again, when you're sculpting, you're moving that product around and that pearl, it kind of gives it a little bit more of a swirl, if you will. So to get a really nice smooth finish and that beautiful pearl look at the end, do your protein bond, and we're gonna do just one more thin coat of the pink shimmer. And this way, I'm going to get that really nice, consistent, smooth finish like you would just a regular polish. So all of that pearl is going in the same direction. It doesn't look all swirly, okay? So then you would cure this and then you could add your top coat on top of it. It's not going to add excess bulk or thickness because again, we're just polishing on that really thin, clean application. Okay? All right, you guys, so I think this covered a lot of the questions that you guys have been having about the fiber gel, what you can and can't do, all the do's and don'ts. So hopefully this helps you do some better nails.